Hi there, I'm Hao. This is just another video of me solving random people problem. So let's begin. So today we have the minimum number of arrows to burst the balloons. So this is an interval problem. So there are some spherical balloons tapped onto a flat wall represent the x and y plane. The balloon are represented in the 2D integer array points. We have x star and xn. Denote the balloon like if for the horizontal diameters, right? Like this. So if we have like axis and the y-axis, right, the balloon can spread from here to here, right, like this, right? And we sort the arrow in any uh, vertical direction, right? And if it is touch the balloon, right, it will burst the balloons, right? And we have like several balloons, right, lying. So and we are asked uh, to return the number of minimum number of arrows that's what we shot to burst all balloons, right? Right. So a balloon with X star and Xn is burst by an arrow shot at X, right? If X star, if X is between X star and Xn, right? It's inclusive. Okay. So I think we can sort an array first, right? We can sort an array first to look at the interval in a sorted order here. If the array is sorted, we can iterate through the sorted array, right? And if the array overlap, right, maybe we can save one arrow, right? Maybe we can burst two balloon by this one arrows, right? So what are we sorting by? We are sorting by the start time, right? X start. If they have the same value, then we're gonna sort by the end time, right? Right. So for example, if we can have 1 4 and then 1 3, right? And so 1 3 need to come before 1 4. Okay. So let's do that first to see what we have. So poist will be equal to poist dot sort A and B. So we're sorting by the start time, right? But if the start time are equal to each other, then we're gonna sort by the end time. Okay. And then let's also log the point here to see what we have. Okay, so we have 1 6 2 8. Let's look at this example here. We have 1 10, 3 9, 4 11, 4 11, 6 7, 6 9 8 7, and 9 12, right? So let's represent that on uh, the axis. We have 0 here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 and 12, right? So we don't care about the vertical, right? We only care about the horizontal axis. Okay, because the arrow can be shot up infinitely uh to infinite height, right? So we have 1 10. Let me change the color here. We have 1 to 10, which is this part right here, 1 to 10, and then 3 to 9, 3 to 9, right? 4 to 11, 4 to 11 here, 6 to 7, 6 to 9, 6 to 9, 8 to 12, 8 to 12, and then 9 to 12, which is here, 9 to 12. So um if you're looking at the pictures here, right? So where can we start the balloon up so that we can burst as many balloons? Where should we start the arrows up, right? So that we can burst the balloon as many balloons as possible, right? Um, so if the two interval, right, overlap, so let's say if we look at the first two here, right? If they are overlap, then we can start the balloon up, we can start the arrow at 3, right? If we start the arrow at 3, then we can burst two balloons at the same time, right? So in here, we can see that we can start an arrow uh, from this, right, at 9. So if we start the arrow at 9, right, we're gonna burst 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 balloons at the same time. Right? However, the balloon here, right, uh, is only 6 to 7, right? So we need at least 2 arrows, right? So if we start the balloon up around here, right, we're not gonna be able to burst these two balloons, right? So in this case, we will need at least two arrows, right? Which is the expected output here. Okay, so how can we take advantage of the sorted array, right? Of the intervals that we already know of. So we need to keep track, right, of the x star and xn, right? Anytime we see a balloon that is out of range, then we can increase the number of arrows by 1. So we know that the points, right, gonna have at least um, one balloon, right? So we can start our arrows at 1, the number of arrows 1, then we can iterate through the sorted array, right? We can keep track of the x star and then xn, right? So the first one is 1 and 10, right? So the next one is 3 and 9. So which is these two, right? So what is the x star and xn should be in order for us to burst the two balloons at the same time, right? If we shot the arrow up here, right, that's not gonna work. If we shot the arrow up here, it's also gonna work, right? It has to be the smaller xn and then the max x star, right? So it has to be in the interval of from 3 to 9, right? Between these two. So x star gonna become x3 and xn gonna become x9, right? So we are taking the maximum x, right? The maximum x star and the minimum xn, right? So we are here, right? If we are here, right? Uh, if we start the arrow in the interval from 3 to 9, anywhere from 3 to 9, we will be able to burst two balloons at the same time, right? So we look at the next one, 411, right? So if we look at 411, it is the interval that we can start the balloon up, right? For them to be bursted at the same time, right? Which is from 4, right, to 9, 4 to 9, right? So from 4 to 9. So we always take the maximum x and the minimum y. Sorry, we always take the maximum x star and the minimum xn, right? So 4 is greater than 3, so we take 4, right? 11 is is greater than 9, so we take 9. Okay, so 4 to 9. So again, we only look at three interval so far, right? So if we start the balloon up anywhere from 4 to 9, right? We only look at 3, then we'll be able to burst three balloons at the same time, right? 110, 3, 9, and 411. And we can keep going, right? Now we're looking at second 7, which is here, right? Second 7. So if we want to burst 4 balloons at the same time, right? Yeah, this is the interval that we can sort the arrows up. This is only our only choice, right? So x star gonna be 6, right, and x gonna be 7. Okay, so if we shoot the arrows up anywhere from 6 to 7, then we can burst uh 4 balloons at the same time, right? Okay, so next, sig 9. Right, we take the max x star, right, which is just 6, and the minimum xn, which still be 7, right? Okay, so if we shoot the arrow up anywhere from 6 to 7, we'll be able to burst 5 balloons at the same time. Right. Okay. Now we'll look at the next one, 8 and 12. Okay. So 8 and 12, right? We have to take the maximum x star, which is 8, right? And then the minimum xn, which is 7. Okay. Okay. Now the xi and xn overlap, right? Xi and xn overlap, which which means we need an extra arrow now, right? We cannot because xi overlap xn, there is no way we can burst uh, this balloon along with all of this balloon, right? Using just one arrow. We need an extra new arrow, right? If xi and xn overlap, which means we need a new arrow, right? So we just increment our arrows by 1, right? And then reset our uh, xi and xn, right? To 8 and 12. Reset it to the original point for the sorry for the to the next point, right? Which is 8 and 12. And then we can keep going, right? Now this will be our starting point, right? We can sort this by just one arrow. Right now we start from here, 9 and 12. So look at the last one, 9 and 12, right? We take the max x star and then the minimum xn, right? So 9 to 12. So if we shoot the arrow anywhere from 9 to 12, right, we'll be able to burst these 2 balloons. So we will, at the end, we will return our numbers of arrows, right, which is 2. Okay. And then note that if the array is not sorted, it won't work, right? We could try it by looking at the original array here, right? We have 9 and 12, right? Uh, we have 1 arrows, right? 9 to 12. We take the max x star, right? And the minimum xn, so 10, okay? And then next one is 4, 11, right? Still 9 and 10. And then 8 and 12, max x size still 9, 12, still the same. And then 3 and 9, um, 3 and 9, so this will become 9. 6 and 9, right? Still 6 and 9. Uh, 6 and 7, so this become 7, right? So we still need 2. So in this example, it works, but it not always work, right? So let me try like the first example here. Um, we have 10 to 16, right? And then 2 and 8. So the max is 10, right? The minimum gonna be 8. So we have 10 and 8 here, right? So originally we have 1 arrows, right? So uh now xi and xn overlap, right? So we need to increment our arrow by 1, which is 2 now, right? And set it back to the next choice, right? So 2 and 8. So 1 and 6, right? So this becomes 6. And then 7 and 12. So 7 and 6 now they overlap, right? So we need uh, another arrow, so 3, right? Right. Which is wrong, right? We only need 2 arrows. So the array has to be sorted in order for it to work, right? And specifically, we need to sort it by the start time first and then by the end time, right? Because we are always trying to keeping track of the maximum start, x start, and the minimum end, right? Like what is the smallest interval, right? That we can use to burst all the balloons to as many balloons as possible together at one time. All right, so let's code this up. So we're gonna have our arrows, right? We can return the arrows at the end. So let arrows equal to 1. Right, we need our x star and xn, remember? X star and xn equal to 0.0. Okay, we can solve for in x1. Okay, so x star equal to, we always take the maximum, right? X star, and then the point 0, point I is 0, right? Xn gonna be the minimum. We got the minimum xn always. So xn and then point I in x1, right? So if x star is greater than xn, which means we need an extra arrow, right? And then we need to reset the x star and xn to the current interval. And that's pretty much it. So the runtime is gonna be n log n, right? And yeah, the display is gonna be on to o log n based on depending on the sorting algorithm. So thank you for watching.